today's video, we're gonna go through to the week. And Monday was a good week to trade, but it was Martin Luther King's Day, so we did not trade that day. It's a bank holiday. You should never trade on bank holidays. They never go your way. Anyways, all right, Tuesday, you see this small fair value gap. I knew it was gonna retest from here, and throughout the day, I was saying that we had key levels. Let me show you the key levels. They were small, but they were here. 1, 2, and 3. I would say this one. I wanted to target these lows. I ended up hitting the first one, and that's where I basically took my first partial TP. And then it ended up coming a bit lower. So you can see it was starting to retest that same square, which it should be here. And then it retested it, it went back up, and it just went a little bit down. And almost to our second take profit, but I ended up closing the position because I saw the price action was pretty slow. So now, I normally use this indicator. This is the only indicator that I would recommend to use. Basically marks out every session through Asia, London, and New York again. And then yeah, it's called ICT kill zones if anybody wants to use it. And then on to the next day, Wednesday I was actually doing some funded accounts. So I was working on a video, but I ended up failing. The funded accounts got pretty much fucked. So I took a short position, which it made me $2,000. It could have been like $3,000 on the day. I couldn't close my position on this day, and then it started coming back up. It retested this area of this. There was a fair value up here, and I got inverted, and then it got retested again. And then it started going up, but I couldn't close my position. It was telling me that I had to call tech support. TraderBait sometimes does that. I've seen a lot of bad reviews on TraderBait, but that's what I was working on. I wanted to create a video of how to pass funded accounts, and I ended up not passing it. I got stopped out, but around here, I bought another one. So I re-entered the fee, and this trade basically hit take profit where I was looking for. I ended up making $6,000 in like less than 5 minutes. I did risk a lot, but I knew where it was gonna touch. And then yeah, I was $6,000 up on the day. I could have been more, but I got stopped out and I had to restart the eval. Anyways, I ended up taking this other position like a couple hours after, like around 2 or 3 p.m. And then it was also Trump's news. So all of this was the momentum of Trump, and then Trump ended up saying something negative about like tariffs. I don't really remember what it was, but yeah, the market just crashed down, and then it did the same thing. It was coming back up, like you can see the patterns coming back up. It was breaking structure to the upside, and it just ripped through this candle, and that's when we got confirmation that it's gonna hit all the way up there. I did not take the TPs up there, but I took some TPs that were close to there. I wanted to target like these highs, but I ended up closing around here and also passing the eval. And then on a Thursday, I did a crazy trade. I ended up on another eval. I ended up making like $8,000 from this one trade, but I also messed up on one of my trades. I was hearing some traders talk about there was gonna be longs, that we were gonna reach those longs. That's why I have all these areas marked out. And we did ended up touching that, and I thought we were gonna keep going longs. And then I took longs before market opened, like around there, and I ended up losing everything. But successful trade on another eval. But this is how markets kind of work. You can't really win everything. Also on a Friday, I took a perfect trade. I'll show you closer. Friday was tricky because there was like, I'm in a 5 minute and there's not a lot of things that you could look for. But I did see a candle really go up as soon as market open, and I just took it. Let's go to the 1 minute. Yeah, so to the 1 minute, it looks a bit more detailed that it's going up and it just crashes down. I ended up taking my trade before there was like some red right here. I took it before this, and I thought this level, the same line that's here, was gonna be like a retest, and it kind of is, because it just went back down. And then they try to almost retest the same spot. This could have been like half of the cube, and it still retested and it went back down. So whoever could have taken both trades. They were small and short, but they were still profitable. It's the same thing as the whole week. Look, same trade. Saw a little bit up. Every time market opens, I like to get into a trade, but this week I did lose a lot just because I didn't follow my pattern, like my strategy. I normally enter as soon as market opens because that's where the most volume is, but normally I haven't been doing that. I've been trading an hour later, which has been messing me up and making me unpass evals. But for next week, I just need to improve on that. Just follow my guts and really stick to my strategy. Whenever I do, I see big profits like this. This Friday, I made 20,000 just because of just listening to myself. Instead of, I was watching streams every morning to see if like my thought process was different to theirs, which it wasn't in some ways. But sometimes I would tell myself, no, it's gonna short, and then they would convince me that it was gonna long. And then I would end up losing on the day, losing evals and losing more. So that's why most of these days, it's really, you shouldn't be trading every day, in my opinion. But I wanted to really get the hang of trading most days to see how it works. I did run into some things that I felt like I've been learning, but I just didn't apply to them. Like patience, I should have never traded on a Tuesday when I knew that price action was terrible. Patience, it's not something you could be taught, but something that you learn as a trader, like just going through the motions of trading, getting into your setups, looking for setups before market opens, pre-market and after market, post-market. Even other sessions could help you mark out how the day could be. Yeah, look, Asian was preparing for a bit. It kept going up and up and up, and then look how these levels are like even lower. We're always getting targeted. So it was the same trade almost every day, except for Friday. It did take a toll on whoever was patient enough for later hours, but I like to stick to trading just the first 30 minutes or even less. If I trade after those 10 to 15 minutes, I feel like I lose momentum and then I lose like my patience. So I like to keep it like that. What else? What was that?